What are your dreams? What are your wants? Do you want to grow your business? Help you crush your goals personally, professionally, and financially? Just join the conversation. What's up? What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. Once again, it's 101, and we always start at 101, and you all know the reason why, because that's how my wife and I say we loved you when we were kids. So, guys, welcome to the call. Hope you're having an amazing start of your week. Hope your new year is just kicking off with the bang. We're almost into February. I can't believe it. I'm almost going to be 50 years old, February 12th, which is absolutely insane. So I guess happy early birthday to me, but I digress. But guys, these calls, man, I hope my intention in all these calls, first of all, the newcomers on the call, welcome. Shane on the call, welcome for being on the call. Everyone else that's been a long time listeners for me and supporters of me, thank you so much for being on the call. If you're a young dentist, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're somebody that's just looking to get better in life, these calls are meant for you. Like I hope to inspire you, hope to influence you, hope to become the best version of yourself, whether you're looking to grow or just become the best version of yourself, guys. That's what these calls are about. That's what it's called Growing Grassy, because we're growing together. My hope is that you take away some of the tips and all the tricks and everything that I started implementing in my life right away. I can't say I learned from all my past mistakes and failures, and I try to implement new things every single day to become a version of myself. Every single day, all of us should be looking at, how can we become the next version of ourselves? Because they say in life that if you want something to change, you must first change with yourself. Just with the thumbs up, guys, if you agree with that. So it always starts with who we are, who we want to be. It starts with who we are today and where are we going. So whether you're a newcomer on the call, I see Skylar's on the call again. Welcome back, my friend. I love having this, guys. But in order for us to transform our life or to raise who we are, we got to now become a new version of ourselves. And like, again, I'm Dr. Bobby Grassi, born and raised in Flint, Michigan. I always say where I start from. I still practice in Flint, which is amazing. I never forget where you come from. And I always love when people say that, hey, you forgot where you come from. No, you don't ever forget where you come from, but don't stay where you came from. If you're the same person you are today as you were 20 years ago, you know we've absolutely failed, because one of the 6 human needs, 2 of the most important human needs is significance and growth. So if we're not growing, we must be dying. So I'm going to take a step in the direction. I always try to grow my background, come from very humble beginnings. I've had no money, made money, had money, lost money. I've been everywhere you are. In our last conversation, though, guys, we talked about self-belief and the powerful tool of self-belief and how it unleashes your inner strength to achieve anything you possibly want, no matter how intimidating the task, right? And it will start believing that nothing will stand in your way. Right? With faith comes determination for success. So we have a belief system. We know we can do it. This week, though, I'm talking about your financial thermostat. And people say, why? You're a motivational guy, you're a dentist, you're a crumble cookie guy, you're an entrepreneur, you own 4 or 5 different businesses. Why are you talking about your financial thermostat? Because everything in life deals with finances. I mean, who are we kidding? Like, one of my biggest goals is to make a difference in this world, the greatest impact. And I can't do it without finances. I can't do it without having more money. I can't put smiles on people's faces without having control. And it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't understand finances and you don't understand how they work, then you're just going to spend as much as you make. Guys, just with a thumbs up, have you ever seen athletes that are millionaires that become bankrupt? Anybody ever hear that? Thumbs up? Right. Because they don't have a good financial thermostat. Parkinson's law says your debt always rises to meet your income. I want you to hear that. Your debt always rises to meet your income. It's Parkinson's law. So what exactly is a thermostat? Why is it so important? A thermostat is a device obviously used in our house to regulate the temperature in the space or system, right? It works by responding to changes in your temperature, either internal or external. Whether you open a window or a door, your thermostat knows. And the whole point of it is to maintain a balanced and comfortable climate. That's it. The whole point is, if you want it at 70 degrees, how does this thermostat knows when if it drops under 70 degrees, it's got to turn the heat on, or if it gets above 70 degrees, it's got to cool it off, or whatever, it shuts off. This allows you to control how much heat enters the house, keeps an ideal temperature, and also minimizes energy waste. So to me, in short, it's a clever, cool mechanism that makes us stay comfortable and saving valuable resources at the same time. It keeps us comfortable and it saves us money. So then what is a financial thermostat? And this conversation might not resonate with you guys, but guys, it's so important because even at Crumble Cookie, when I run numbers every single day. You must know your finances. You must know where you stand. You must know exactly what your report card is. You must know every time. Your financial thermostat is a concept to help you keep your spending habits in check. So anytime you spend, some people have good financial thermostats, some do not. It's an ideal number based on what you've earned in the past and how comfortable that makes you feel. Now, I got some of this from Richie Golden. He's one of my mentors. This is some of his information. And it's so important to stay within the thermostat limit. And where people get in trouble is they don't. They shut the thermostat off. It's a way to keep expenses manageable and avoid hazardous financial decisions, right? That may lead us to debt. It might lead us to trouble down the line, increased anxiety and stress and all this stuff. So we must always keep our thermostat in check. Aiming for a higher income is awesome. Like wanting more money is awesome, but it's more responsible to build off of something you already have experience with and remain with it until the goals are achieved. I see a lot of people, they want to build all this income. They want to build all this income, but knowing where you are, knowing your financial thermostat is essential to a balanced and secure lifestyle. Like just aiming for a higher income is great. Everyone wants to make more income, but what can you do with your income? Can you take your income and invest? Can you take your income and do certain things? Can you take your money and make it work for you? Hopefully the answer to these questions for above all you always ask, but how do you adjust? How do you truly adjust your financial thermostat? What do you do? Every now and then, everyone needs to adjust it. We need to understand like what temperature is, what time from time to time. We need to know what is the most effective ways to set it up. How do we budget it? That outlines all the fixed expenses and allocated income. Like, what are your fixed expenses, guys? Just with a thumbs up. And if you don't have to, do you think it's important to know what truly your expenses are? I mean, do you really think it's important to know, no matter what it is, whether it's in life or business, to know exactly where your expenses go and where your income goes? I always go inflow versus outflow. Like a lot of people get in trouble because their outflow is more than their inflow, right? So when you look at it, when you allocate it, it allows you to take an honest look at where your money is going. And then you got to make your adjustments accordingly. Setting up a short-term or long-term financial goals can be very useful, right? Okay, this is what I want for the short term. This is what I want for the long term. Working with a qualified financial planner, whatever it is, in some ways there are vast ways to help keep the resources in check and know where you're going. Taking control of your finances takes a lot of work though, dude. This is something, but if it's done correctly, it can be unbelievable. I can remember when I was running a dental practice and I used to laugh. I felt like I was working to pay everyone else's salaries besides my own. And it wasn't until I really took charge of my finances and understood where everything was going, understanding numbers. Maybe you don't like math, dude, but you guys should always look at numbers. You should understand how to stay within a budget. I know there's people on these calls that do it magically. How come there's people that can make $100,000 a month that are broke, but there's people that make $1,000 a month that have money left over? It's because they stay within their financial thermostat. How much money you have does not determine your success. It's how much do you have in savings? How much do you have in return? If you want more, you really need to understand this. Every business you run, you need to understand your P&Ls. You need to understand your balance sheets. I'm not going to go deep into this, but you need to know your financial thermostat, whether just in life. Guys, just with a thumbs up, would you agree that one of the most stressful things in this world is not having enough money? Do you think that most people are happy or sad if they don't have enough money? Of course. Of course, that's the most stressful thing in this world. We look at it every single day, right? Not having enough or not knowing what you're going to do or how you're going to pay this bill. It's brutal. But if you get a track on it early, I know there's some young people on this call, man. I know there's Skylers on this call. Young kid. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. I didn't even realize this happened to me one time. I was just putting away $200 a month when I could. $200 a month. And I did it for like a few years. And the $200 a month somehow turned into $40,000. Now, you might say, how the heck that happened? Because all I was doing was saving. I was saving, started putting in something, putting in it, whether it's a Roth IRA, I mean, whatever you want to put it in, whether it's with a real estate investment, no matter what, put something away. Put something away and you can see what it turns to. Stay within your budget, dude. Like knowing that, Skylar, I'm going to tell you that's a little hack. You want to get something planned for it. I always tell people that, like, how do I make another, $3,000 a year, or $4,000 a year? How about put $10 a dollar, put $100 a day away, right? 365 days in a year, $100 away. What is that? That might be $336,000. I mean, could you imagine if you just put $10 away? $10 away every single day. How much money do we waste in $10? You put $10 away in savings for 365 days, you made an extra $3,650 a year. We don't even think about that because we buy Starbucks coffees for $20, whatever. But when you stay within your budget and your hazards, it avoids all hazards, right? It avoids everything. Not only should you track your spending, though, you also need to keep eye on what are your potential pitfalls. I can remember when I was in, I never was prepared in dentistry when something would break down. And it was one of my pitfalls. All of a sudden, I did have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 chairs, hand pieces break down. People would go on, maybe I'd go on a shopping street like an idiot. I'd have some impulse buys, whatever it was. And it always gets you in trouble. You never have enough to plan. So try to set something up. Like if you guys have like a little helpful hint, if you get, let's say, Connor's a young dentist. I know he's in here. So Connor, let's just say that, I know you're busy, but let's just say you make whatever. We're just going to make up a number. Let's say you got paid $1,000. Man, take 25% of that money and set it aside. Take 25% of that money, which is $250, and don't even touch it. Take another 25% of that money and go put it into something that's going to make you money. And then live off the 50%. That, I'm telling you right now, if you guys did all that, if you took everything you made and lived off half of that money, you'd be so successful in life. It'd be unbelievable, and you'd have so much money. That's understanding your financial thermostat, knowing where it is that you can live off of. All right, if you want to have, live off 75% of the money, that's fine. Make sure you keep your temperature at 75 degrees versus 50 degrees. I like my temperature at 50 degrees. It's a comfortable place for me. I live off ideally 50% of my money. I wish everybody would do that in my family. No, that's a joke, but 50% of my money. Take stock in your financial health temperature. It's important to know how much money you have and what you need to do with it. That's called taking stock. Understand where you stand. Would you guys agree that most people make mistakes financially is because especially if you're married, is because one person does the finances and the other one doesn't? Would you guys agree with that with a thumbs up? Most of the time, people don't know where they really stand. Or, ready? It's like going to the doctors. They don't want to know where they stand because maybe their pride or their ego, or they feel like something else is in the way. Know where you stand at all costs. Know exactly where you stand financially and where you want to go. Plan for that. Understand exactly where you stand. It provides invaluable insight in all your areas of your life. It will help improvement where you're at. It also will help focus on motivate positive changes towards reaching those goals. You have to know where you stand. It's like if you get on a scale to work out, what's your starting point? What's your weight loss goal? Where do you want to go? Don't worry about what happened in the past. Don't worry about things that you did wrong. Don't worry about all the money you spent. Hopefully you live in life a little bit. This isn't about saving. This is about living, but having a financial thermostat. I never said save all your money. And most of the time, people want to get in a big dog investment. The first thing they have to do is save it first. How do you get in good habits? Create a discipline in a way that you can start creating wealth for you, creating more. Tom Wayne, find a way to create more in your life, whether it's even with your set job. What can you do with it? How can you increase your revenue? What can you do as a side hustle? Find a way. Properly assess the current state you're in. Pull together all your loan documents, your credit reports, tax returns, loan contracts, etc. Where do you need to go? What is the detailed picture of your overall health temperature? Guys, sometimes we just need to raise the temperature. Sometimes we need to cool it off. At the end of the day, how do you do that? Like, how do you really take control over your financial thermostat? What are some things you can do to take control? How do you raise your financial thermostat? Take control of your money story behind. Get your mind right first. We talk about this. Your mind's got to be right. What are you telling yourself every day why you don't have money? What are your emotions or fuel that are unhealthy spending habits that are tied into it? Or what are the good experiences? What do you do right? Use the experiences as leverage, as opportunity to foster a more positive relationship with finances. People look at money like it's wrong. I always laugh at this young generation, and they wonder why they don't have any money. They take a piece of paper. And I just want you to realize something. Money is nothing but a relationship. Money is nothing but a resource of what you could do for success or for nothing. It's just a relationship. You either love it or you hate it, right? You either nurture it or you don't. You either nurture it or abuse it, right? Most people kind of do a combination of both. But anytime you get a penny, appreciate that penny. Anytime you see a crinkled up bill, my kids have the habit of taking a dollar bill and they roll them up in a ball and they get all wrinkled. And I always stop them And I always say, if relationships money, how does that dollar bill feel when you crinkle it up and just throw it in your pocket? Because that means you don't even value it. When you don't value something, where does it go? It runs away from you. If you don't nurture it, it runs away from you. So don't be unhappy with the amount of money you make. Be appreciative of what you have. Understand where you want to go. That's one thing. You want to change your path, that's great. But anytime you get paid, man, I'm going to tell you the worst thing you can do is say, I didn't get paid enough. Because you might have more value in you, but always appreciate what's in your life. That's one thing. Control the emotions. And please don't be that person that says, I don't have money because my family never had money. That is garbage. That is the biggest hogwash I've ever heard. Do you think I came from money? Do you think I came from anything? Absolutely not. That is the biggest lie we tell ourselves so that we feel good about it. That's a lie. Your destiny is not hereditary. What you have in the past is not who you're going to be tomorrow. What you're going to have today might not be what you have tomorrow. So I've seen people that were raised as millionaires, like their kids, spoon-fed kids that were broke. And I've also seen people that had no money that become multi-billionaires. So it's not where you start, it's how you finish. Refrain with money, make it align with you. What really matters in your life? What brings you peace? What allows you to make informed decisions regarding how best to spend it or save it? With me, I spend money to create experiences for my family. I want them to see joy. And I mean my extended family, not just my wife and my 3 kids, my extended families. I love giving people experiences. My whole point of making money is not so that I can be rich. That is not the case. It is so I can make the greatest difference in this world. And I know I can. I want to relieve stress from multiple people in this world. I want to take pressure off a lot of people. Because I never have forgotten where I came from. And I do know what it's like never to eat sometimes. I know what it's like to go hungry. So it's not where you come from. Reframe what you want. Why are you wanting it? One of my biggest goals in dentistry always will be that every single person that ever works for me makes 6 figures. It's always been a dream of mine. It's been one of my goals. I've not accomplished it yet. But I will. Money should be like a tool to you. It should never feel like a chore, right? It should help you make decisions, based on the value. But you need to understand that this will be when you know how to manage money, when you know your thermostat, when you know what you want to do, it should give you peace of mind because you know you got control of your future. And so many times we just don't know even where to start. I would always say achieving financial security is probably the greatest thing that can lead to the peace of mind. I remember even in dental school, it wasn't the burden of going to dental school. It wasn't the 4 to 8 hour, 4 hour drives here and there. It wasn't the fact that not even really the struggle of it all. It was not knowing how I'm going to pay my bills. That was the most stressful part of my life. One of my biggest fears, we all have 3 gatekeepers, and one of my biggest fears is the fear of loss or the fear of failure or fear of going broke. And it might stem from my upbringing. I never want to be broke because I'm too afraid. I don't want to go back, right? And I know a lot of people on this call know what I'm talking about. A lot of people have been broke. And so the peace of mind you have when you're able to pay a bill is insurmountable to happiness. And most people become depressed or toxic. It comes from finances. And I think that we need to start, what's important is start to begin budgeting and tracking expenses that you have in order to gain a better understanding of income versus your outcomes. And then once you know which one, your income should always dominate your outgoing. Most people spend though on impulse, right? They get depressed, they get sad, we always say like they're the spenders that they think that external thing is going to give them happiness. And that's what leads to the demise, right? We tend to overspend because we're trying to fill that void. We're trying to get something in there. It always starts with yourself. You'll never overspend if you truly know where you stand. And if you can create that thermostat where you can create these safety mechanisms and steps in place, that's fine. Create an emergency fund. Do something. If you want to spend money, if it's Guy on the call or Shan on the call or Linda on the call and you want to have some fun, what if I tell you guys, right? Dude, you're going to have an unexpected cost in your life. You're going to have things rise up. Live off of 50% of your paycheck to put 25% of your money to the side and live off it. Just have fun with it. That's your fun fund. Skylar, when you get a paycheck at Crumble, because I know you're on the call, when you get that paycheck, take some of that money. This is Skylar's fun money. The rest we're going to start investing. We're going to start creating wealth. We're going to create some of the most important things, guys. Some of the wealth creation formula we have, I have it right here. You know, how do you create wealth? You create income, you got your job, cool. You increase your income. How do you do that? Maybe you're saving or you're investing or you're doing something. You somehow get better at your job, right? Tom, I think you're a painter if you still paint. How do you increase that income? Well, you might get more jobs. You might get things lined up. The more jobs you do, the more income you have. And then you get that money and then you save it. And then you can invest. Now, once you have enough in savings, then you can invest and you create multiple flows of incomes. You can increase those flows and then save and keep doing it again. It's like rinse, cycle, and repeat. Once you figure out how to do it, it's easy. They always say making your first $100,000 is the hardest. The other ones are easy. Making your first dollar is the hardest. The rest becomes easy. We become robots. I guarantee you, all of us on this call have probably made the same income for the last 10 years. Maybe if not more. And it takes it's a lot. You can almost do it with your eyes closed. You can work less days, make the same income. Your spending habits are all things. We've created these habits to do this, but how do you get out of it? Look, have a fun fund, create an emergency fund, safety net. Finally, monitor your credit score. Know where you stand. How to even use credit as leverage. Guys, I use credit all the time as leverage. How do I do it? I use somebody else's money for my success. If you don't have enough money to finance, man, literally, y'all got good credit, I bet. Go get a line of credit, figure out what the interest rate is, go pull some of that line of credit, and then go invest it somewhere else. That's how you can invest. Another thing you can do is pull your equity out of your house. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. But how to build financial strength over time, know your thermostat, know what you're capable of, and know exactly where you want to stand. Achieve stability and security that's the purpose and role. My purpose is how do I maintain security and stability for my kids, for my family, for my friends, for my loved ones, for the people on the call? Like, how do I do that? Guys, I can live with $800 a month. I've done it. I can do it. I can survive. I never want to go back. I want people. I want everybody on this call that even supports me at the dentist CEO Growing with Grassi. How do I create financial success for them? How do I create my mom with financial success? How can I give her so much money that she never stresses out again? How can I give the Ken K? How can I give Ken K money, Shandell money, and Christine money? How can I do this? How can I give Tom Wing money to the point where he never has to worry, Muriel and everyone else on this call? Life is bigger than you, man. So why is it important to have a good financial thermostat? Because you can make the greatest impact in this world. If you want to be just donate to charities, by golly, you can do it. You can do it with money. How do you fix broken financial thermostat? How do you do it? How do you do it? It's hard. Doesn't have to be. When you research what works for you, when you surround yourself with people that know how to do it, when you set up realistic, attainable financial goals and saving consistently, you can start making a positive change towards correcting your broken thermostat. I've been broke. I'm still broke. I'm still working on it. I think my thermostat is still a little bit broken. Why? Sometimes I just live life to the fullest. It is what it is. And sometimes my thermostat's not in check. And so I have this call. This isn't the most motivational call in the world. This probably isn't even make you feel good. I'm hoping it's making you think. I hope it's making you understand, what is your financial thermostat? What is it that I really want to accomplish going forward? What is my end goal financially, spiritually, emotionally? What is it? When you understand it, when you understand your temperature gauge that you can keep it up to, when you understand that the fan will go on auto, when you truly understand, that's when you're going to have financial success. All these tools, are just to help you define what is it that you really want. Allow you to manage both yourself emotionally and efficiently. It helps you understand your spending patterns. It helps you identify where the things are above or below your desired budget. Like it's no different if you're tracking your calories when you're eating food. You should be looking at your bank account every single day and know what your income is versus your outcomes. Income versus outcome. What's your out expenses versus your in expenses, right? Hopefully more money is coming in than going out. That's all it is. That's success in life. That's security. Unlock the power of your financial thermostat. But how do you do that? To unlock it, you must equilibrate and you must take charge of your money. You must gain invaluable insight of how you can attain lasting fiscal freedom. Plan for success. Record it. Put it in the planner and tell me what it is. How can I help you? How can I help you get your financial success? Guys, these calls are meant to help you get a best version of yourself. We talked about mindset. We talked about spiritual growth. We talked about anything that's possible. We talked about all this stuff, but we as a society and as a country, we fail in the financial department. We all live paycheck to paycheck. We are robbing Peter to pay Paul, as you might add. How do we break this cycle? I think it's so sad that in our young generation in school systems, we don't talk finances. It's like the taboo thing to talk about. Nobody discusses money. Why? Because they're afraid of if they say they want more money, they're going to be judged. Or they're afraid if they don't have enough, they're being judged. And all of it's false. Know exactly where you stand. Know exactly where you want to be. Guys, next week, I'm going to show you guys, I will show you a roadmap if you follow me. If you need any guidance, and I've been trained, I've been mentored by Richie Dolan himself. If you don't know Richie Dolan, go check him up. The guy's a financial guru of gurus. He hangs out with the Grant Cardones of the world, the Jay Shettys of the world, the Jim Quicks of the world, the Tom Bilyeu's. If you don't know who Tom Bilyeu is, he's the guy that created Quest protein bars. He hangs out with LeBron James. I mean, guys, I'm getting information from that guy just to pass it on to you. I mean, Ken K, who is on this call, is Richie Dolan's partner. If you don't, it's not coming from a place like I'm boasting or bragging. I'm getting information to pass on you so that you can use this to your own life and be the best version of yourself. I want you to have a legacy in life you've always dreamt about. I want you to become the best version of yourself. I want you to live a life that's so fulfilling that when you close your eyes and we have a birth date and an end date and that dash in the middle, people will always say, man, that woman, Chandel, or that woman, Christine, or that person, Tom, or that man, Ken K, or Mariel, or Shane, and Linda, and Rob, man, what a difference they made in this world. They show me how to get it. Guys, come next week. We're going to cover the financial lexicon. And you're like, what in God's name is a financial lexicon? I can't tell you. I'm going to save it for next week. Guys, are these calls valuable for you? Are these calls beneficial to you? Thank you. I mean, I really hope you're getting as much out of it as I am. I really appreciate the opportunity of sharing some insight that I have for you. I really appreciate you always coming, showing up every Tuesday for me, showing up every single day just to allow me to fulfill my dream and my purpose. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait to continue this journey with you. I can't wait to launch out what's coming up next. But next we're going to talk about the financial lexicon. I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Have a blessed day.